Let's get to it. It's my
Yeah.
choice. My pick. I want to go here. I want to go best and worst feuds. I got three, and I tried to stay current because there's just, I mean, come on, Vince, Stone Cold, The Rock, Stone
Mm-hmm.
Cold. I mean, Trips. There's a lot. But
Right.
for me, I got to go in this order only. Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Daniel Bryan versus The Authority. Come on, you know I
Okay.
had to say that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
then for some
Yes.
reason, I don't
Yes.
know if it was
Yes.
just I was into it at that time, but I got to go RKO and John Cena.
Okay.
I loved every
Nothing wrong with
aspect,
that.
everything. I mean, it was just personal. It was just something you wanted to see. They both looked like $1,000,000. They had it in the ring. They had it on the mic. They had it with the entrance. They had it with the theme song. They just had it,
Yeah.
and they showed it. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think there's one. Of course, there's going to be some bad promos, but altogether, the feud was just phenomenal, and I am just so excited to see if we get something in 2024 with the new Netflix deal here. And then, I mean, just come on, Daniel Bryan and the Authority. I
Oh,
mean, it's just like the Stone Cold
cinema.
Vince, you know,
Cinema.
you just get pushed down so much until it's just like, what are we going to do? And
Oh,
for
it
me,
snaps. Yep.
I love when reality sets in, not for the storyline. I love that, but for Vince, for backstage, for creative, where they see and they say, damn, we got to go with this kid. And they did. That's what made that so beautiful. And it was the Authority. So it was Stephanie and Trips, and them two together. They could be on a lot of these lists here. They could be on
Oh
probably
yeah.
the most annoying, you know.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it just made sense. But number one, Rey Mysterio and Eddie. I
Yeah.
mean,
I love it.
again,
I
Keith,
love it.
what do I always say? When the storyline gets
Yes.
personal, that's when I can sink my teeth into it. I can just believe in it. And it was that. It was absolutely 100% that. It was nothing better in my opinion. Let's hear it. What do you got?
So I
Top
have.
those.
I'm gonna try, but I won't. Um.
Can I guess?
So I have. Well, yeah, you can, but hold on. So I have three for best, and then worst is one of my other one and one
Yeah,
only.
me too. Me too.
Um.
That's funny.
So yeah, got what are your guesses for my best?
No.
No.
Guess
Yeah.
for best. Um KO and Sammy. I mean, how can you not have that?
Obviously, number one, KO
Yeah.
and Sammy / El Generico and Kevin Steen.
I was gonna say it has to be not
Yeah.
just main
I
roster.
debated putting that as like
Yeah.
one and two, like Sammy and Kevin 1, 2, El Generico and Kevin Steen, or vice versa. But so they're my top one. I put them together, and
Okay,
then
and that's it. They're not again in another feud.
no, it's
There's
just those two. No, I didn't repeat them around.
oh man. Is it recently?
The other two are more recent ones. Yeah,
More
trying
recent.
to spread some love around here too, as I was like getting toward the
Give me one
bottom.
name. Let's see if I can pick the
Kenny
tag.
Omega.
Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega. Kenny MJF?
Kenny Omega
No.
and
Let's hear
Hangman.
it. Hangman.
Kenny and
Okay,
Hangman.
let's hear it.
That story was just fantastic. They were tagging, they broke up. Kenny won the belt. Hangman wasn't good enough for it. He went through the whole crisis of confidence and stuff, and he was hanging with the Dark Order, and he was drinking a bunch, and they got it around. Honestly, the biggest thing, him finally building up and winning the title back, like winning the title off of Kenny, was awesome. The biggest example of like the chase was so much better than like the prize, because once Hangman got it,
Hangman.
it was kind of like whatever. But I think really what like stuck in my head was like recently they had just had the thing where it was around Halloween when Kenny had a match against someone. I don't remember who now, but they came out. They were all Ghostbusters. So Kenny and the Bucks were all in Ghostbusters garb, and then and what's his face? Michael Nakazawa was too. So they were all four of them were Ghostbusters, and then it was supposed to be Brandon Cutler was in the Stay Puft Marshmallow costume.
Yeah.
And they do the match and whatever, and it's all done. Omega wins. They're all in the ring celebrating, and then they like look up the ramp, and Cutler is coming out like all bound and tied, like hooked up, and they're like, whatever, and you just see the Stay Puff head like come up behind Kenny, and it was like, and then it just comes off, and it's just Hangman looking enraged and like just beautiful.
Yeah.
That whole feud was incredible. And then the other one, so yeah, Sammy KO slash Generico and Steam 1. 2 is Gargano and Ciampa. I know I
Oh
ran it
yeah.
off recently about how like I don't want them to break that tag team up yet because I don't because it's been really soon, but like
Yeah.
that original breakup angle with them, the two of them was like just it was amazing. You know, like they get beaten by the Revival again, just throws Gargano into the LEDs, and then what was it? That was the end of Takeover Philly. Gargano
Uh,
and Almas for the championship. Takeover Philly for the title, finishing up, and Ciampa comes out with the crutch, beats the crap out of him again.
yeah,
Like
he does.
just beautiful, beautiful feuds,
Yeah.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
That's my 3 best.
I
Obviously,
love
Kevin and
it.
Sammy are the best. They're the best. I would watch
Yeah.
those two fight till they're 60, 70.
Okay. Give the people what they want. They came for one thing
That's right.
and one thing only, the worst feuds, and we got one each.
Yep.
You want me to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Knock it out.
This is by far the worst feud, and I even know the effing year, Keith.
Oh.
Triple H, Kane, 2002.
Oh
It
wow.
was it was just
Yeah.
awful. It was awful because just everything. I mean, everything that went into it. They both were not where they needed to be in their career. I mean, the whole Katie Vick thing, and then you couldn't. It was like oil and water.
Yeah.
It just didn't mix. Their styles didn't mix. Their promos didn't mix. You didn't feel it. The matches were awful, and it was kind of like what they did with Roman Reigns in his, you know. Early career where they just stuffed it down our
Yeah.
throats. It was just like main event, great, do this, do that, do this, and there was no legitimate story either. It was just blah, right? Like,
Yeah.
can you
No,
other than other
I
than
I
knowing
just think
it's
of the
the
Katie
worst?
Vick. I just think of the Katie Vick angle, and that's all you really need to know to just be like, nah, this ain't
Yeah,
it.
it was just bad.
Yes, it
It
was.
wasn't even good TV. It was just bad, man. 2002. Kids, go back and watch it, or not.
Or don't. No, don't go back and
Yeah,
watch it. Just
yeah,
know that we're
please
right
don't.
and that it's awful. Also, don't watch a feud that we talked about earlier already, but my worst feud, heel Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler.
Oh
Um,
God.
you just it's no disrespect to any commentator, but like if you're a commentator, there's a reason you're a commentator, and it's one of those big reasons is because you either can't wrestle or they don't want you to wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
In this feud, you get both. Michael Cole can't wrestle because he's not a wrestler. That's not a slight on him. He's just not a friggin' wrestler.
No.
He was a war correspondent before he got into WWE, and then he went into commentary. He can take a bump because he got chokeslammed and sodomized and whatnot leading up to it. But like, get the hell out of here. There's never been a time ever in my life where I've been like, yeah, I want to see Michael Cole get in the ring. Ever. Even when he was being annoying as heel Michael Cole, and I wanted to see him get his ass kicked, I didn't want to see him get his ass kicked in an actual friggin' match with anybody, let alone, 65 maybe at the time, Jerry the King Lawler. Like,
Yeah.
good God, no. Everything
Yeah.
about it was miserable. It's like one of the only times in my life I can think of just be like, man, thank God the heart attack happened to end all that, because the whole reason this ever stopped, probably, and it might have gone in for even longer, is if Jerry didn't have that heart attack on TV, it probably would have kept going. But they forced him to switch everything up and make heel Cole not be heel Cole anymore.
Yeah.
Heel Cole in general, just get the hell out of here overall. No disrespect to Michael Cole. I love him. I also put him up there as one of the best commentators of all time, probably just because of my time in fandom of wrestling and whatnot. But like
Yeah.
the heel Cole run wasn't it at all for anybody. And if you're gonna sit there and try to tell me you liked it, you're full of shit. No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Worst feud. Took up way too much TV time. Arguably, like helped ruin Jack Swagger's career in WWE because he somehow got brought into it. Like just awful, all around
It
awful.
was. And even though when heel Cole was, when he was a heel, he was funny, but it just didn't work with the coal miners
That's
and
like
the,
he
the
he
it
had
was just
moments.
bad.
He had a couple of moments at best. And even those like moments are not things that like I can sit here and be like, oh yeah, this part was really funny. And even like the ones that do stick out in my head of him being like a heel, they're like the funny moments I think of. They're not even him being funny. It's like other people
Yeah.
reacting to it being funny. Like I remember,
Or he's being sarcastic.
yeah, like
Yeah, like the
there was
entire NXT on Sci-Fi.
right, like
Yeah.
just that nonsense. Or like there was the one when Jericho was like sitting in the ring talking about something, and then it was the Anonymous Raw general manager, and he steps up to say it, and
Oh
Jericho was
yeah.
just like, "Of course you have an email, you idiot! Just read it." And it's like, yeah, that was more just because Jericho did a good job there. It has nothing to do with Cole. That could have been
Yeah.
anybody, and it still would have been funny.
It was
Just
cringy.
just awful, awful for me. Worst feud.
And the whole thing with Miz too, like just
Yeah,
stop,
like you
man,
just that's what I
please.
mean. Like you sucked all these people into it too. That like just it hurt them
Yeah.
too. Terrible. Never needed to
Terrible.
happen. Terrible.